Studio microphone. Sometimes, love doesn't follow rules. Not age. Not time. Not logic. This is a story of a young girl, full of dreams, who fell in love with someone the world would never understand. He wasn't meant to be her future, but somehow, he became her everything. A love that felt right, but came at the wrong time. A connection so deep that even
goodbye
couldn't erase it. So today, close your eyes and feel this story, not with your mind, but with your heart. Because some love stories are not meant to last forever. They are meant to stay with you forever. The first time Lila noticed him, he was sitting alone on a park bench, feeding crumbs to pigeons like he had nowhere else to be. It was early winter. The kind where the sunlight feels soft but carries no warmth. Lila had just turned 20. She was full of restless dreams, unfinished plans, and the constant pressure to become something important. He, on the other hand, looked like time had already finished its work on him. His name was Daniel. She didn't know that yet. What she knew was that he wore a long brown coat, slightly worn at the edges, and had a face that carried stories in every line. Not sadness exactly, just depth. Like someone who had lived many lives within one. Lila passed him every day on her way to college. At first, she barely glanced at him. But over time, she began to notice small things. The way he smiled at children, even when they ignored him. The way he always brought the same old book. The way he never seemed in a hurry. It fascinated her. One day, without planning it, she stopped. "Do they always come back?" she asked, pointing at the pigeons. Daniel looked up, surprised. Then he smiled. "Yes," he said. "If you feed them long enough, they start trusting you." Lila sat beside him. "I wish people were like that." He chuckled softly. "People are like that. They just take longer." That was the beginning. Days turned into weeks. What started as small conversations became something more. Lila learned that Daniel was 72. He had been a literature professor once. He had traveled, taught, loved, and lost. His wife had passed away 10 years ago. Since then, life had slowed for him. Not ended, he would say. Just quieter. Lila, on the other hand, was chaos. She talked about everything, her dreams, her fears, her confusion about life. And Daniel listened. Not like others did. Not with impatience or distraction. He listened like every word mattered. That's what drew her in. One evening, as the sky turned golden, Lila asked, "Don't you ever feel lonely?" Daniel thought for a moment. "Lonely isn't the absence of people," he said. "It's the absence of connection." She looked at him. "And now?" she asked softly. He smiled. "Less lonely." Something shifted in her chest. A quiet, unfamiliar warmth. Lila didn't realize when admiration turned into affection, or when affection turned into something deeper. She only knew that she started looking forward to those evenings more than anything else. She started dressing a little more carefully. She started noticing the way his eyes softened when he saw her. And one day, she realized something that terrified her. She was in love. It didn't make sense. Not to her. Not to the world. A 20-year-old girl and a 72-year-old man? It sounded absurd. Wrong, even. But feelings don't ask for logic. They don't care about age or expectations. They just exist. She tried to ignore it. For days, she avoided the park. Avoided him. But the silence felt unbearable. Finally, she returned. Daniel was there, as always. But when he saw her, something in his expression changed. Relief. "You disappeared," he said. "I was busy," she replied, avoiding his eyes. He nodded, but he knew. "You can tell me," he said gently. And that's when she broke. "I think I've made a mistake," she whispered. "What kind of mistake?" She looked at him, tears forming. "I think I've fallen in love with you." The world seemed to stop. Even the pigeons were still. Daniel didn't speak immediately. He just looked at her. Not shocked. Not angry. Just thoughtful. "Lila," he said softly, "do you understand what you're saying?" "Yes," she said. "And I hate it. I hate that it doesn't make sense. I hate that people would judge. I hate that it's impossible." "Why impossible?" he asked. "Because of you," she said, her voice trembling. "Because of me. Because of time." Daniel sighed. "Love doesn't care about time," he said. "But life does." That sentence stayed between them like a wall. In the days that followed, everything changed. They still met. They still talked. But there was something heavier in the air. Unspoken. Delicate. Dangerous. Lila wanted to hold his hand. She wanted to close the distance. But she didn't. Daniel kept his distance too. Not because he didn't feel something, but because he did. One evening, as rain softly touched the ground, Daniel spoke. "You deserve a life that's just beginning," he said. "And you think I don't get to choose who I love?" Lila replied. "It's not about choosing," he said. "It's about what comes after." "I don't care about after," she said. "But I do," he replied. His voice was calm, but firm. "That's the difference between us." Lila felt anger rise inside her. "So you're just going to walk away?" she asked. "I'm trying to protect you." "From what?" "Love." "From pain." She laughed bitterly. "You think this doesn't hurt?" Daniel looked at her with eyes full of something she couldn't name. "I know it does," he said. "That's why I can't let it go further." The next day, he wasn't at the park. Nor the day after. Nor the week after. Lila kept going, hoping he'd return. But he didn't. It felt like something had been taken from her. Something she couldn't explain to anyone. Because how do you tell the world you fell in love with someone it would never understand? Months passed. Winter turned into spring. Life moved forward. But a part of her stayed behind. On that bench. With him. One afternoon, while cleaning her room, she found something. A book. The same one Daniel used to carry. Inside, there was a note. Her hands trembled as she opened it. "Lila. If you're reading this, it means I didn't get the chance to say
goodbye
properly. You came into my life when I thought my story was already written. You reminded me that even the quietest chapters can still hold meaning. What you felt was real. And so was what I felt. But love isn't always about holding on. Sometimes, it's about letting go before it breaks something beautiful. You have a whole life ahead of you. Fill it with moments that don't end in regret. And when you think of me, don't think of what we couldn't be. Think of what we were, two souls who met at the right time, even if it wasn't the right life." Daniel. Lila sat there for hours. Crying. Smiling. Remembering. Years later, she would still visit that park. Not every day. Not even every month. But sometimes. She would sit on that same bench. Watch the pigeons. And smile. Because some love stories aren't meant to last forever. They're meant to change you. And stay with you. In the quiet between years.
If this story touched your heart, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Because here, we don't just tell stories. We make you feel them. Until the next story, take care of your heart. Because not every love gets a second chance. Goodbye, and see you soon.